Right, and we are. We're live. Bosh. Yeah, no let them come today, unfortunately. My phone is on the windowsill, giving us reception via the 5G or 4G, whatever you want to call it. Evening, chaps. How we doing?
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Joe,
I don't know how this is going to go. I said, right, boys, we're going to discuss the 3 games since we last played. And everyone was like, can't even remember that one. So, but it's been a better 2 weeks, isn't it? It's been much better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Joe got a mention in the post-match for getting it right. Right, let's put the old bins on, see if we can see a few things. Right, boys, all good. Things have improved. In the last 3 games, we have picked up a total of 7 points. Is that right? Yeah, it is. 7 points.
correct.
Yeah.
Pictures are looking promising. And it's all started. We'll go back over the game shortly, but it's all started with, in my opinion, a change in formation. Now, this is saying, I've said this in the post-match, we was all crying out for this change of formation. All of us, a lot of the people watching, pretty much everyone, stopped playing 5 at the back. And eventually we did go to 4 at the back. So has it worked? I think that's the obvious answer. And why has it taken so long to change that formation of 4 at the back? Pete?
That's a good one, really. I think pressure from like someone said today that he's not on social media, so he doesn't really sort of bow down to pressure from the media, things like that. But I think he does, because he was getting a lot of stick about the way, especially I think the killer one was at home when we played 5 at the back. Yeah, that's the one that done it for me. And I think they was playing. Middlesbrough, I think it was, wasn't it? 3, they played 3 at the back. Or so, no, before Middlesbrough, the Blackpool game, wasn't it? We played 5 at the back, and they had 3, and they had like 3 strikers. And I think, as you know, when that game happened, and we won, obviously, and it was muted, wasn't it? It was like no one give a monkeys. And I think he played it again the next game, and it was like.
You mean the Blackpool win, and then the Blackburn defeat.
The Blackburn defeat, yeah, okay. And then I think he changed it against Middlesbrough, didn't he? Did he go back to a flat 4?
Rotherham. He changed it back 4 against Rotherham.
Rotherham, yeah, okay. Which we looked.
But why do you think he's done it? That's the question. Why do you think after all this time he's finally changed it?
We weren't getting nowhere. We wasn't getting nowhere with the system. It was a case of when we went 1-0 down, we went 2-0 down, and it was too late. Then he had to come out and change it from the 5 to the 4 and go all attack minded sort of thing. But I just think that he obviously looked around and realised it weren't working. It just was not working. And I think the players didn't sort of adapt to the system either. They didn't know what they was doing. And some of them players all played out of position as well. You know?
He don't mind doing that, right? Playing people out of position, does he?
I think when you as well, when was it that George Long come into the equation? What game was that? Was it a Rotherham game or before
Blackpool, he coming against Blackpool.
In Blackpool. And obviously I think that's, I don't know, say to do, because with him as well, don't mean he's a good shot stopper like Bart, but his distribution, getting us more moving up the field quicker and things like that, I think it's been a part of it as well. The midfield, I think we haven't got settled midfield, so I don't think I think he just changed it because it wasn't working and we was getting hammered, we weren't playing good. So I think along the line he knew something had to give. It was hard for him to go, or he got to change the system. And I think maybe down to you, Dan, as well, giving him a bit of stick saying that he could change the system as well.
I think it's more of all of us. Joe, what do you think? Why do you think he changed it? Why do you think it took him so long? Was it stubbornness?
Yeah, maybe he thought that eventually somehow it was going to work. Because even at times last season when we played 5 at the back, it seemed to work. We played all right, but for whatever reason, this season it just weren't clicking, and we've had a lot of different sort of partnerships or trios in that those centre back positions this season. Likes of Cresswell's been in there. It's not really worked out for him, but I think he was forced to, wasn't he? It clearly wasn't working. I said 2 more games at that time. I think if we lost them 2, he'd have to go. So I think he was sort of forced into making that change. And it seemed his back was against the wall. he's changed it, and it's funny how having one less player at the back, we've actually suddenly looked a bit more solid there with one less player. It looks like last couple of games, having that partnership of Cooper and Hutch back in there, they seem to be clicking again. So yeah, see if it continues.
Ken, I've left you to last for a reason. You're limbering up, ready for it. Why has it taken so long for him to wake up and smell the coffee, so to speak, and change the four at the back? Do you think it's fan pressure? Why didn't you think he'd do it? Do you think he's stubbornness?
I definitely think it's stubbornness, setting his own ways. Look, my granddad, he passed away now, but for the last sort of 15 years, every Saturday morning I drove up to his house and dropped the paper off at his door. Right, and that was a Daily Mail. If I turned around and said to him that I had to give him the Sun instead of the Daily Mail, he'd probably have a heart attack. Right, and it's the same sort of thing. Like when you're used to doing something, I don't know, morning routine, whatever it is, you just get comfortable in it. And even if it doesn't work, you still keep with it because you believe it's a trusted thing. But I do believe if he's not on social media, he's definitely probably got family around him, sons, daughters, wives that are on social media and looking at things maybe like this. And you're going to buckle. I mean, I don't know how many people on here have coached the football team or done anything like that. But in the end, when the parents start digging at you, in the end, sometimes just for an easy life, you do it. And I think that's what he's done. And he's realised that actually it works.
He's not on social media, lucky bastard. It's all right for some. But anyway, Joe, Joe made a good point. He said he went to 5 at the back last season, because I said to my mate exactly the same thing. Why is it taking him so long? And he said, well, let's not forget, last season we did have a lot of 1-0 wins. We did have a lot of this and that, didn't we? And good results, predominantly away from the Den. At the Den, we found things a bit tougher, but we seem to have rectified that now. Let's go back to the Rotherham game, boys. Who's ever been Rotherham? It's the first time I've been there. You ever been there?
That's what I went through a list the other day, yesterday, of all the teams in our league, and there's only 3 stadiums ain't done in this league, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Rotherham, Middlesbrough, and Blackpool.
Of course, a fucking long way, Middlesbrough. Pete, you ever been to Rotherham's new ground? I've been to their old one.
I haven't been to the old one either. It's like one of the few grounds I haven't done. That Borough, Sunderland. Who's the other one?
Blackpool. You ain't been Blackpool either.
Blackpool, that's it. Blackpool.
You ain't missing much there. You've been there, Ken, Rotherham?
No, never been to Rotherham. No.
It's funny. It's like it looks massive from a distance. It's like at the bottom of this big ditch. When you get down there, it's quite nicely set out, quite compact.
Looks lovely.
The corners filled in, but it's like a little Lego stadium when you get in there. But it was not many Mill fans, 250, I think, 240, something like that. Not a great following. And understandably so, people were getting the pox of going to the away games and not seeing any results from it. Rotherham were a team, of course, with a new manager, literally appointed that day after their manager left to go to Derby, Paul Wong. But they've been knocking teams over. I think a lot of people were saying that was a bad side. I think we caught them at a fucking great moment for us. Do you know what I mean? You're nodding, Ken. Go on.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of my arguments about the last 3 teams that we played. I won't go into all 3 of them, but Rotherham were very up and down, very inconsistent, and completely managerless. Had no direction, and like you say, I think we played them at the right time in order to get a result.
I know you're saying that you won't go into all 3 of them, but we can discuss it early.
Okay.
I mean, we all say it, and I've heard the O'Mara say it a lot in their videos that, Joe said, I think you've done a joint video, boys, after one of the recent games where you said we can't keep saying, oh, we beat them, but they were shit. Maybe this is just
the standard. Yeah, that's what.
It's just the standard division. And is the division weak? Is the division predominantly weaker this year?
Massively. Do you know what, though? I think for the last 3 seasons, the Championship's been very, very poor. I think during COVID, it was really poor. And then, coming out the other end, I haven't watched many teams, maybe Norwich, Burnley as well. They're probably the only 2 teams that I've seen and gone, yeah, do you know what? They're a decent outfit. Not even Sheffield United. And they're sat at the top of the table.
Yeah, I think you've probably got to stand out 2 or 3, Sheffield United, Burnley, Norwich, even to a point Watford, and we'll discuss that shortly. But yeah, the O'Maras boys, what were you saying? What you were saying was right.
Yeah, I said that off. Oh, sorry, go on.
Go on, Joe.
Yeah, I come out with that after the Middlesbrough game. It seemed that any time we was winning, don't get me wrong, I have agreed with it sometimes, but I think that's just the standard of football as a whole in the Championship this season. Everyone seems to be beating each other, but I just thought let's give the team a bit of credit. Every time we have won a game this season, everyone just sort of jumped on, oh yeah, like such negative thinking. Oh yeah, that's because they were shit anyway. But it's like, yeah, there's only so many times we could say that. Like, come on. But obviously, we've done something ourselves to make it look that way. So I just think we have to give them a bit more credit sometimes.
That's a good point as well. That's another thing I was thinking is, it may not be the most exciting team in the world. And Pete, you can answer this one. You've fucking been watching Mill longer than any one of us. But we may not always be brilliant going forward. But are we one of them teams that disrupts other teams' patterns and make it difficult for them to play against? Because sometimes that can happen, and you're not going to give your own team credit for that. You know, stopping the opposition playing, breaking stuff up in their faces.
I think it's what you call the whole thing, what you call the Millwall way, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Nullify it and put in a grafting performance. Do you know what I mean? And I think when you're looking back on them last games, the Blackpool, the Rotherham, and even the game the other day, we've never pulled up any tree. We've never been spectacular or anything like that. And yeah, you can say that they've not been great, but I think with the Championship this year, I think we're going to have 3 parts of it, not 2 halves. There's going to be a bottom half, a middle, and that top 6 or 7. Do you know what I mean? Which I'm going to put as top 6 or 7. I just think I can't sort of put my finger on it sometimes. Is that we drag out these wins. You know, I didn't expect us when we conceded that goal the other day to win. I thought same on Millwall, we're going back, but somehow when we're not playing great, let's be honest, we're not playing at all good, but we're getting a result, aren't we? The last 3 or 4 games we've been hanging in there and getting it without playing great. And I think it's all part and parcel of the squad as well, trying to get to know each other. Do you know what I mean? The big thing is Hutch obviously coming back, shoring up the defence more. Yeah. I think that George Long, all right, he's not I think his distribution is brilliant. And Fleming, he's starting to come into the game a little bit more. But we're dragging out the results. And listen, long may it continue, because I do believe this team is going to get better and better and better, but not for another few games yet. We're going to see the better, because the biggest thing we'll know is confidence. Now they've got them wins, got their away win. The team's going to get more confident. You know, like that bit when they come up to the fans at the end of the Bristol City game. That's when that happens. That's when you know the team's on a bit of a roll. And I think we're getting results without being spectacular, but we are going to get better and better. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, what was you going to say, Joe?
Yeah, I think my dad said we ain't really been great, but don't get me wrong. I think the last few performances we have actually improved. I think the performances have been better, but again, I don't think they've been amazing. It feels like we've gone from a sort of 4 out of 10 to, let's say, a 7 out of 10. We haven't quite hit that 9, 10 in any games yet, but I think there is still more to come. I think the team it's needed a bit of time to gel. Fleming's come into his own last couple of games, and just want to reiterate what my dad said there. I think the team starting to get to know each other a bit. Rowett's starting to find his strongest lineup, because he's named an unchanged starting 11 for last 3 games. Was it 3-4 games? So yeah, I think it's just maybe, I don't want to talk too soon, but maybe just starting to click a little.
Well, you think you're right what you're saying as well. Not just the formation change, but the actual consistency of Mitchell and Saville look like a decent partnership now.
Yeah.
And sticking with them same players. And I agree with you, Joe. We've gone from sort of Rotherham sort of a 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10. Middlesbrough up tip 1. Kenny, you still thinking, what are you thinking in terms of the last 3 results, and are the squad improving with every game? Do you think the same thing?
Yeah, so look, I don't want to take anything away from the three results, the Rotherham game, Middlesbrough, and Bristol City, but I am going to put a slight negative on it, and give my reasons why. I know that's obviously unlikely, but but I just want to like go through it. I think that the formation change is a great idea and was always going to make us more attacking and push further forward because now we have another player further up the pitch. However, the problem that we had still remains the same, that we are not very good at creating opportunities or scoring goals. And if you let me explain that, the goals that we've scored, the Rotherham goal, all right, that was a bit of magic from Fleming. You can't take that away from him. Against Middlesbrough, I think it was it 2 set pieces?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were 2 set pieces. A ball not. One was Fleming's free kick, wasn't it?
Free kick, wasn't it?
Reflected
And then one
Robert's
was-
first one, yeah.
So a little bit of luck there, and the other one was a set piece. And then Bristol City, the goals against Bristol City were. Someone might have to explain.
Set
So it was it was a similar free kick to the one that Fleming had against Middlesbrough. Hits the wall, goes the other side. Murray Wallace, Billy Mitchell keeps it alive. Murray Wallace clips it in left foot. Bradshaw has 2 stabs at it.
That's it. And then the second goal was
Calamity keeper comes out,
That's
drops
it. Yeah,
it.
that's
Great
it. So,
composure from Fleming, though.
yeah, oh, definitely 100%. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like we've had a spot of luck here with the type of goals that we've scored. And I know that's part and parcel of being a football team. You need luck, unless you're Man City or someone like that. You need a bit of luck, but we always seem to get lucky at the right time. And in my opinion, if we're still not working on attacking in training, which I don't think we are, then in the end, this luck will run out, and we could quite possibly still be in the same situation after a couple of games.
Just quickly, Stephen Ball, thank you, mate, for your ongoing donation. Say hello to the boys. Right, let's talk a little bit maybe less about games, but more about individuals, because I know Pete's alluded to George Long once already. And with the change of formation, has dropped Charlie Creswell completely out of it. I really like our back four at the minute. McNamara, Cooper, Hutchinson, Wallace. He does exactly what it says on the tin. Definitely Millwall-type players. I think Hutch is a million times better. Sorry, Coops is a million times better with Hutch alongside him. But let's start with the front three, because obviously the change of formation has given us his front three. Bradshaw central, Volsammer wide right, and Bury wide left. I know there'll be a big debate about it in the comments. Is that the right three to lead us, boys?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
Still weak.
Like you boys were saying, we've got the players. So who are the players that should be playing there, if not those three?
Well, the jury's out on the, what's he called? He calls him Volkswagen, doesn't he, the other guy?
Volkswagen, Cop Slammer,
Yeah.
all sorts.
He calls him Wall Slammer. I call him Wall Slammer, right?
And you call Tyler Bury, Tyler Fury.
Tyson Fury.
Listen, Tyler, for example, right? I think you touched it on your end of Matt or when you think after the game you done. But he's so far to me. He's always just an impact player. I think the last time we talked about it before.
Who's this Cop Slammer?
Yeah, no, well, him as well, really.
Oh, let's go around. Sorry, we should talk about Bury. Let's start. Let's talk about say on Bury in the comments as well.
Well, Bury, I just think he's like I say, he's an impact player. He'll come on. He comes on with energy, and he's running at people. At the moment, to me, he's not a 90-minute player.
No.
Definitely not. I'd rather see glass ankles on if he stays fit. Right?
Mason Bennett is another not a 90-minute player, is he?
No, if I would have him. I'd have him in the centre. Definitely. I think you make him chance.
As a central striker, Bennett? Yeah, he can play there.
Yeah, but
Do you know what?
I'm not a lover of Bradshaw, to be honest with you. I think he works his socks off. And all that. But to me, he's just this long ball up to him. We talk going off the thing there, but Tyler Bury, not one for me. Like I said, I'd have glass ankles in the centre, up front, in the middle. Then I'd have Phobie. I'm a big fan of Phobie. I know a lot of you ain't. And then maybe put Bradshaw out on the left, something like that. because he
See,
can.
I don't
Well,
agree.
you put a
I think
Phobie out on the right. Then.
Who?
Where would you put a Phobie then if you said you'd have Bennett centre?
Then I put Phobie out on the right and Bradshaw on the left.
Okay.
Yeah, he has done stuff like that before. See, this is the thing with me, right? Tyler Bury is not a 90-minute player. I think it was Charlie actually in the comments on YouTube. He said, "Rowett, we was right about Rowett. We was right about 4 at the back, but but Rowett was right about Bury because Rowett wasn't playing Bury, but then he has started to, and I think we've seen he's all right. He's only young." But I think what you've got on the opposite wing in Volsammer, and I'm a strong believer in, is you shouldn't play Bradshaw wide, you shouldn't play Phobie wide, you shouldn't play Volsammer wide because they're all centre forwards. But he does do it. The difference why I think you'll definitely see Volsammer start in front of Bury is he's a lot more industrious. Although he's a striker, he's quite defence minded. He tracks back. He's typical German, isn't he? They're like machines, aren't they? They graft and get the job done. So Pete, you're saying Bury's not a starter for you.
No.
Ken, Joe, what are you thinking of, with this front three and what's the right click?
I don't think.
Sorry, mate.
Go on, Ken.
I think that I might get some hate for this. I don't think Tyler Bury is a championship player. I think he's awful. And I thought like, against Bristol City, I thought he was a waste of a player. He didn't make any check. The only thing he did in the game was at one point he decided to try and take his man on, and he gained a free kick. Other than that, I didn't see him do anything. And actually, when I start getting the ump about players, I watch them more, and he would just sit back. He would never make a challenge, and then they play. So that could be under instruction. I don't know, but I'd much rather, and I know people might hate me for this, but I forget Mason Bennett, forget Tyler Bury, I'd put Scott Malone there. And the reason why I say that is because Scott Malone can't defend to save his life, but usually the way Rowett plays it is he makes them play extremely wide, right? And the person that's created the most opportunities in a Millwall shirt this season is Scott Malone. So he's got the most assists and opportunities created. So if we're going to be playing someone on the left-hand side, then why not play the player that's left-footed and created the most opportunities in our team?
Not bad crosser either, is he?
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not the greatest player in the world, and I know he's frustrating to watch sometimes, but that's usually because we get frustrated with his defending. However, going forward, and let me tell you something as well. There was a chance for Tyler Bury against Rotherham, right, where he's absolutely shanked it. Right, I don't know how he's missed that. I'm telling you now, Scott Malone is absolutely rifling that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said a long time ago, Mark, play him higher, didn't I? And you're right. We need. So you've got Volsammer wide right. So although I think he works really hard at wide right, I don't think he's a winger. And if you're going to play anywhere, you've got to play a striker as a striker. But you might as well write off at any point you're going to get service in for the centre forward from the right wing because he's not a winger.
Mm.
We can't cross the ball for a start, can he? He can't cross the ball. You know what I mean? We haven't got a decent crosser there.
We haven't really got many other options, though, wide right at the minute, if you think about it.
People in the comments are saying Honeyman. That's what I'd be tempted to do, is play Honeyman wide right.
Yeah, maybe, but I think naturally he's more of a central midfielder, isn't he? We haven't really got an out-and-out right winger as such.
No.
I would like to see. Don't get me wrong, we haven't got much options there at the minute, so maybe Vogelsammer's the only sort of best option there at the minute. But I would like to see in some way or another Vogelsammer being played as a centre forward.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you'd see the best of him then, and he'd start scoring some goals.
Yeah.
But that would sacrifice my mate Tom Bradshaw.
Yeah, forget that. I don't think he's got that.
Mate,
I don't think he's.
I think he give him against Rotherham. He missed 2 chances. I don't think that was as bad as everyone thought, but he gets in the positions.
Yep.
He does get in the positions. He done it again. He missed that one against Middlesbrough. It was a great save from the keeper. He should have scored it, but he gets in a position, and eventually, that's what you want to worry about. Is if your striker's not getting in the positions, he's getting in the positions. I still think, I know we've gone 4 at the back, but I still think that it's further up. I don't like the 3. I'd be tempted to even go one more deep in midfield or one more in midfield, in the midfield three, and go 2 strikers up front. I think
Yeah, I'd like to see a Phobie and Bradshaw back together again, to be honest.
it's like I always say, 24 goals between them last season. Why is he?
Mm.
Why is he
And
not
they
doing
seem
that?
to
You know what I
really
mean?
click and work well together. So
Maybe they
I
were
don't-
getting the chances and the services last year. They're not getting that this year, are they?
yeah, true.
Bradshaw's not getting, and that's sort of fair do to him. He does work hard, like I say, but he doesn't get a load of chance. I know he had 2 or 3
Yeah,
on
he don't.
Saturday. Genuinely, if you cross the ball, get it the ball into him, he will knock the ball in the net. Genuinely, you know.
You can say the same about Phobie though as well.
Yeah, I feel sorry because we're
We're not creating Phobie's finisher. I'd say you give a Phobie a chance rather than the
How do
penalty.
you think? Did he finish
I'm
that
more
penalty?
confident he's won other than the penalty. You knew he was
Terrible
missing that
penalty.
all day long when he stepped up.
That's a
Yeah.
terrible penalty. He
Yeah.
he seems to score the more difficult ones of Phobia, I think.
yeah.
The ones he's got less time to think about and sort of instinct ones. He scored a really good goal earlier on in the season, didn't
Yeah,
he?
against Black. Was it the one against Blackpool? Wasn't
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
it? Yeah.
really
I
good.
think that's. I think it's all. About, I've said this a million times about a phobia. I think a phobia is all about a phobia. I don't think he's necessarily bothered where he plays as long as he gets a pound note. That's my opinion. And it's been quite obvious. Listen, he's not being selected for the team. Bradshaw's been selected over him, and Bradshaw had no game time, no minutes, no form to go by, and he's kept Bradshaw in. Do you know what I mean? So that must be his thought process on a phobia must be quite low at the
I
moment.
was just thinking while he's all saying Volsamo, a Phobie, this one, that one. He's got a lot. He's got one centre forward place up for grabs, and a lot of people to try and keep happy now, isn't he?
Mm.
Yeah, he definitely has.
A phobia's dead, I think.
You think he's done? Oh, I can't, do you know what? A Phobie last season, by his own admissions, he didn't really get going until that Crystal Palace game where he scored, and then after that he was off and running, wasn't he? But he definitely hasn't hit the ground running again this season. That's for sure. Let's take it back, right? So I want to talk about the change of formation. I want to talk more in depth about players as well, because the change of formation has seen this guy end up in the wilderness. What do you make of Charlie Creswell, honestly, and the signing of him and the effect he's had on not just the formation, but the players who are now no longer at the club that may well have been? I'm talking about Alex Mitchell, and I don't even know where Hayden Muller is. He's not even been playing for the 21s. He must be injured.
Charlie Creswell.
He was all singing from the rooftops, Champagne Charlie. That was me when he came in. Did we do a wrong in signing Creswell, Pete, do you think?
Well, at the time, everyone was like banging on how good he was, weren't they? You know, Leeds fans, I know a few Leeds fans saying, oh, he got a great signing, blah, blah, blah. When we was in Mallorca and he banged in them first 2 goals, we thought, oh, my God, what have we got here? What have we got here? Do you know what I mean? And had a great start, first couple of games, and then he just, I don't know if he got overawed by it. He was making silly mistakes. I think the pressure's really got to him, really. And, you know, I think he's only out here till, I think, January. I think they can call him back.
Yeah, I did see saying in the press saying that they got an option to call him back and we get fined if we don't play him enough.
Yeah, he's quite, he just hasn't reached his potential. I think he's nervous, and I think the other defenders were nervous around him, you know. As you can see, the difference when Hutchinson come back in, it's just more organised, you know what I mean? Well, I reckon he might get another chance. An injury might happen, and he might get another chance. Because if there ain't an injury, he won't be getting back in that team again.
Well, he's not even been in the squad, has he, Joe? He's not even been in it. So there must be, I don't know if there's, that's being frowned upon up there in wherever it is, up gloomy North Yorkshire, isn't it?
I think they've overrated him, basically. I think
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what an option is. Stick him up front. He likes a goal, doesn't he? Put him centre forward. He might start scoring more.
Do you know what, right? I'll just see. Go on, Ken.
I feel sorry for Cresswell, to be honest with you. I think that the whole loan deal was operated the wrong way. So I feel like Cresswell was a great loan signing for us, but he should never have been that defender that was coming in to be part of our back four. He was a player that was going to come in, maybe get a bit of experience, And like Pete said, if one of them's injured or someone's suspended, then we've got a solid enough replacement until they come back. But the problem is he played his first game or whatever it was. He scored 2 goals.
Because I know that he wasn't actually going to be in that starting team.
Yeah.
And there was an injury, weren't they, late on? But Charlie says, I think we see a different Creswell in this formation. He had too much defending to do before. And Tommy says Creswell is a luxury loan signing. We need reliability, if I can say it. So it is a question, boys, that just popped into my head while we're sitting there chatting. We all said, we had a fucking great transfer window. I've got one here for you. Right, we had a great transfer window. We got the players. How many of those players actually started Saturday? Truman's a goalkeeper. No. Afobe? No. Creswell? No. Shackleton? No. Styles? No. Honeyman? No.
Jesus, I didn't even realise that.
I didn't realise until we started talking about who started and when.
Fleming and Slammer, isn't it? It's just a 2.
Fleming and Volkswagen are the only 2 out of 8 signings that started. So does everyone still feel
the Rowett effect?
Eh?
The G. Rowett effect.
I would argue the other way. At least we've got a lot of strength in depth there. Which we didn't have before. There's still options. We've got a very strong bench.
Very strong bench. I agree, Joe. Yeah.
Whereas if maybe some of them signings, like more of them were starting every game, you'd then look at the bench and go, all right, what are we going to do here? Who are we going to bring on to change the game? So I'd still argue that whether they're in the starting lineup, we're a lot better. We've got a lot more strength in depth than we did last season.
100%. When you just look at it, like I say, the bench Saturday, that was a really, really strong, But
it's a load of new signings. That's why Darren Cuddy, thanks for your donation, mate. Super chats are open. You can donate to the channel via the comment section if you so wish. If you don't, not a drama. But please subscribe. We're about 12 away from 18,800, I think. Something like that. Ballard was a million times better, Joe. He was a million times better. So, yeah, that's mad. I just thought of that. No Styles. And he was getting called the fucking... Was he getting called the fucking Barnsley Baresi or something?
The Berry Baggio.
While we're on the subject of names, there's only one, the main man. Let's talk about him and how much he's improved. And is there still more to come? I fucking love that celebration as well. That's old school. Remember like the Shearer celebration or certain players that go on, Ken's doing it. Certain players have certain celebrations. How good can this man be and how much is he improved in a very short space of time? 5 goals in the last 5 games, boys.
I think he is absolutely nowhere near his best.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Absolutely nowhere near his best. I think I said at the beginning of the season, like, you need to give this kid a season. He may do well, but like we need to keep hold of him because I'm telling you now, every now and then there's a diamond in the dirt or whatever they call it. That is him, and whether we're never going to be able to keep him unless we go up over the next couple of years, in my opinion. But he could make us an absolute fortune, this kid. And that would definitely help us reinvest into our squad for seasons to come.
He's still got levels to go, I think.
Oh, Joe,
Fernandes.
Yeah, when you watch him play, I think when you put a number, I think he's on number 5 at the moment. 5 out of 10. That's what he's. I was going
to say that.
Right. I'm not that sort. I think he doesn't really influence the game that much. But the thing he does, what he does do, is like, unlike our midfielder before, he gets into the box. Yeah, he goes into the box, and like that goal we got, the other day, you want to get Sean Williams in the box or any one of them, would you? He was in the box, ready to take the opportunity. You know what I mean? Which is a massive, massive plus.
Obviously, we was behind a goal for that, and it was it looked really easy, and I suppose it was, but just the quick train of thought and just the composure, not to panic and thrash it.
He actually took it really well.
It's to be in that position. Do you know what I mean? Some of our defenders will be on the halfway line. Do you know what I mean? He was in the box. That's not the first time he's been in the box.
We're finally a proper 10. He's a proper 10.
And I would say, like I say, there's going to be a lot more to come from that fella.
Yeah.
He's got to work a bit more. And I think sometimes he's passing. He's got to pick them
Do you know what he tries the Hollywood ball every time, but
yeah,
I don't mind that because we always used to say, like, Jed was the only one who used to try and unlock doors. He tries to unlock doors. He tried to score from 50 yards all the time. If he hits one over the bar, he hits one at the corner flag, which he was doing early on. He doesn't care.
He's a slower, more composed Jed Wallace.
Oh, you know what? I put him in the mode of Ken. I put him in a mode, and this is a player. Teddy Sheringham, not fast, but a great football brain.
Yeah. He has got a great football mind. Yeah,
he's got the eye for the pass. He's got the eye for goal. Right, he's not fast, but like you say, he even starts. It looks like a young Teddy Sheringham as well, doesn't he? You know what I mean? I do put him into the early Teddy Sheringham mold of player. Definitely clever.
Do you know what I'd say about him? I'm going to try and make a negative sound a bit like a positive, but it's going back to the whole thing. He's still got. It's going back to the whole thing where he's still got levels to go. I don't think he's actually been like amazing as such yet. I think he's playing that sort of 6, maybe it's 7 out of 10 a push, but he's still got. He scored 5 in 5, and I wouldn't say like out of any game. Oh, he's been amazing, like 10 out of 10 performance.
I didn't think he had a great game Saturday, but he's got that moment of magic.
He's still got that way to go.
You know, with players like him, though, you don't need him to play 10 out of 10. You just need him to. You just need him to have moments. Do you know what I mean? So you know when the ball comes to him, you know that something's going to happen, and if it doesn't happen, you know that he tried his best, and that's usually all we ask for. You know, in the players.
But I've not really seen him as such at what I thought he'd come in and do. Sort of pick the ball up in that 10 position, run at the defence, take a couple of players on, find a bit of space. I haven't really seen him do that much. I haven't really seen him impact a game that much in that sort of sense.
I don't think that's his bag, Joe.
No, do you know what? Your dad's right what he says, because unfortunately I'm the only other one here probably old enough to remember Sheringham. And I remember he had long Barney Sheringham, he had it cut short, and I remember him getting dogs abuse for a little while. Went off the boil, and people were saying he's lazy. He wasn't lazy. He's just a clever footballer. He knows where he needs to be on, the runs, not to waste his energy making. Isn't it, Pete?
Yeah, exactly. He's just got that football brain about him. Like you say, ain't fast, but can pick out a pass, can get in the right position, like he's proved to be in the last few games. Not got a bad shot on him either, has he, really? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, like Joe said, I don't think he's been over-impressing me, but I've always, and my boys always back me up, I've got an eye for a player. You know, I've always been good at that. And I could see the potential.
You said that about Rob Hulse when we signed him.
Do you remember Tyrone Mings? I picked out Tyrone Mings as a young...
The Hibbert Green Haaland.
I was the only one who never booed Teddy Sheringham when he was a kid, because I knew he was going to get better. Yeah.
The Hibbert Green Haaland. Joe Turner says, I think we could lose him. We'll get onto that in a minute. Zion the Lion says, Andreas Strand. Charlie says, I'm going to start putting these posters of him on my wall. Charlie's married with 2 children, so that's why that's extra funny for me. Get him on a 25-year contract. Reckon he'll be worth 10 million plus, says the Mill Tube. Good evening, mate. You're flying at the minute, by the way. If you haven't already, check out his channel for me, please. Thank you. It's about 1,500 subs now, mate. Doing really well. Well done. Keep it up. So which is the problem? This is the catch-22 now with the Burm OB, is that if he fucking keeps doing really, really well, could we potentially lose him? How long should we get him tied up for?
If the way he's going, mate, if he keeps banging in a goal, he needs to improve his performances, obviously, but there's nothing to say that someone wouldn't come into him in January and offer us 10 million and he's gone.
Oh, don't fucking say that.
Yeah, but
what's going to happen is if he carries on the way he is, it will happen. Let's hope it don't happen that soon. But I did notice at the weekend, I don't know what it was. It wasn't the EFL, but I was watching it on Sunday. The telly was on, and it done a little piece on, Millwall Zion Fleming really is flying now. And I thought, well, hang on. They don't make a fucking thing out of doing things about us today on any channel.
No,
the 2 reporters have done a little thing on him.
We don't want to shine too much light on it, do we?
No, but it's funny you say that. I was up in Romford Market today talking about, and I'm in Milton stick with him. He said, "Oh, who's that Dutch player you got playing for you?" Right. So the people are standing up and taking notice of him. Do you know what I mean? And it's like the word is spreading.
Yeah, even I've got a couple of West Ham fans in my work, and they're going, "Oh, that Fleming scored again, didn't he?" So people are seeing and taking notice.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. But it's not a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? It's what you want. You want these players to do well, but at the same time, when they do well, you're like, fucking hell, we could lose him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't want him a 10 out of 10 yet. Keep him about 7 or an 8.
No. He's not like
Keep him at 7.
I'd say I'd say half the season. I reckon maybe after Christmas he could start. Maybe it could be a season when you see the really best out of him. But definitely see the potential in him, and maybe after Christmas he'll start even getting better and better.
Going to the other end of the pitch, Pete mentioned it earlier on, the goalkeeper. Where do we stand on Bartney not getting in? And George Long between the sticks, Ken? Because I remember a long time ago you said something like you liked Long. You went, I'm going to throw. I think it might have been the first game of the season or last season.
Yeah, so listen, I love Bart. I think Bart's been fantastic for us. But I looked at him last year, and although he done so well, he just looks old. He acts old, and yeah, he's a fantastic shot stopper. But as an overall goalkeeper, when you look at some of the goals that we concede, a young athletic goalkeeper. I'll give you a perfect example. The Bristol City game, George Long saved the shot. It was basically went behind him, and he managed to sort of like die a full stretch, get his hand on it. I don't think Bart would save that. You know, I don't think him getting down low and fast and into the corners is not Bart's game, and I just think that it's time for a fresher, newer face, a bit more athleticism, better distribution. I
think all round, I think it's fair to say he's probably all round maybe potentially a better keeper. I mean, like you say, Bart's 34 now. And people saying he can't kick it. Some people saying Bart's better. But I think the whole package now with Long, and I really like the look of him. And then when I'm hearing he's really good in training, but when he come in, I was a little bit suspect on a couple of things. Bart's got jelly legs. But I think as a whole now, with Bart being 34, I think Rowett looking to the future. But Joe, do you think it's a bit of a strange time for him to do that? He sort of, if he had put Long in at the start of the season, no one really, I don't think, it's the natural progression. We saw it with David Ford when he was coming to the end. With Bart, he's sort of done it after a few bad results. And that's why I think it's drawn more attention to it than it maybe would have done.
Yeah, it has drawn a lot of his attention to itself, just of the way it's sort of been done. Because what was it? It was the Blackpool game, wasn't it, where he first come in, started, and when you see that, like, no one was expecting it at all, and I think it was sort of fairly harsh on Bart. Like, I didn't see any reason for him to be dropped, in all honesty. I don't think he'd had a bad performance, but as Kenny said, he's a great shot stopper. But it seems if Rowett's trying something different, George Long's got a lot better distribution. He looks comfortable with the ball at his feet, trying to play it out the back. So I think it's that he's looked at a different way to sort of play it by bringing him in with that distribution, playing it out from the back. And I can't really say too many bad things about him at the minute. So I think it's going to be hard for Bart to sort of get back in all honesty, even though at the same time it was fairly harsh him going out of the team in the first place.
Yeah. Well, that George Long, right? He can land that ball in a sixpence. That's how good he is with distribution. How many times has he'd hit the ball, and 9 out of 10 times it'll be right for Bradshaw's head. But unfortunately, Bradshaw can't win the headers. Yeah, but if we had a decent striker up there, that when he landed that ball forward, and a striker that could win the ball and knock the ball down, that's where he comes into it. He's comfortable on the ball. Like I say, the way he whacks the ball and picks out players, I think he's is second to none. I think he really, really looks comfortable. Art normally whacks it out, doesn't he? To the corners and out and things like that. Yes, great shot stopper, but as Kenny said, a bit more athleticism in him as well. Yeah, I like George Long. I think he's brilliant, and his distribution, like I said, if he had a proper striker up there, it's last minute of a game, it'd ping on Thingy's head, what Matt Smith said all the time, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, look, someone just said Matt Smith would love the long distribution.
Yeah.
Good old Matt Smith. Close to me heart.
Yeah.
Good old Matteo, still knocking him in for where did he go? Salford, wasn't it?
Salford.
Yes, I mean, I suppose in this new age football, it's the way it's going, isn't it? But the goalkeepers have got to be able to play. But it surprised me how much we're using. We are literally, like Ken said and like Joe just said in the comments, it would literally be like, imagine you had Matt Smith now and Long, because they're not like kicks upfield. They're actually like pinpoint like crosses, isn't they?
You know what, Ken? Dan, I reckon should make him take the corners and all the set pieces. Seriously, he's that good at finding a player. Especially if you take it in the Millwall, let him take the free kicks even.
Charlie just said it makes me chuckle seeing Long 1 on his shirt. I didn't even realise that until fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right, so you've gone a little bit around about the houses, about players. Do you boys want to say, any players that have stood out for you in the last 3 games?
Yeah,
Billy Mitchell and Saville.
Billy Mitchell, right? I've been I've not been like a lot of people. We passed the ball sideways, and bit Ray Wilkin-esque or whatever. But the last few games, he's been immense. I think. I think it was the
second half of the Rotherham game. He really pushed on.
He covered every blade of grass, right? Covered every blade, and he's always looking to get the ball, forward thinking. So it's like Rowett must have said, you know what? Let you go attack minded more. So he runs with the ball more.
Well, maybe Billy Mitchell said, "Fuck this, I'm not doing this no more."
No, but he stood out for me. He's a standout player for the last 3 games for me.
Yeah,
without shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
I think Saville compliments him well, and Saville's got better again. I'd agree they've probably been the standout. What about you, Ken? Who's been the standout player or players for you the last 3 games?
Yeah, I agree with the O'Maras. I think that Billy Mitchell and Saville. I've been screaming out for Saville to play matches all season. But Billy Mitchell's definitely 100% the most improved player in that team. Because I had to disagree with something that you said, Dan, in one of your videos, that Billy Mitchell's always done it, but now everyone's starting to see it. I disagree, because what he does now, I've never seen him do.
Agreed.
I'll tell you one thing he does a lot now, which I've never seen him do. He is asking for that ball.
He's always asked for the ball. He may not be going forward as much, but he's always demanding the ball. I'll definitely stand by that. Maybe he's a bit more. His levels have raised a bit, and he gets forward a bit more. But to be fair, the only criticism I have of him Saturday is he had a chance to shoot and didn't.
I think
if he gets one, the rest will start flowing.
Visually, as a supporter, what I'm saying is I haven't ever seen that from him. And I love his erraticness. He's like a terrier. But you know what? The difference between, we always used to compare the Ben Thompson, Billy Mitchell type of thing. And I can definitely see the comparison. But Billy Mitchell is a far better footballer with a far better footballing mind than the likes of Ben Thompson. And I think he's critical to our team massively. And I've always said this. I remember speaking to Billy's old man. I turned around and said, when I weren't too happy with him, I said, I see Billy Mitchell as being a future captain for Millwall, but he has to do this, and this, in my opinion. And I think he's doing it all now. He's doing it all. And if I saw Billy Mitchell not in the team, I'd be fuming.
Mark Brewster, thank you, mate, for your kind donation. That's led me on to something I was going to ask you all, because as we're all sitting here, and I said earlier about the new signings, 6 of them didn't start. I think now is the first time ever under Rowett and the fans, we could all sit in there and be in agreement. We could all pretty much pick 8 of our starting 11. I think everyone will pick the same 8.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not Bart, but I think everyone's picking that back 4 and everyone's picking Billy Mitchell and Saville with Fleming in front of them. Do you think that, boys?
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely
100%.
think that. I definitely think that's the case. Danny Mack back in as well, looking good, looking strong, which has put out the other league's low knee.
Yeah, don't hold out on that because Leonard will be back soon.
How did we get 50 minutes into this podcast about you mentioning your mate Billy Briley? Oh dear! And now look, this is how quickly it turns. I know, not Joe personally, but Billy Mitchell was get him out. He's only playing because of this and that, and now he's like, we could end up losing him here. Another player, but it's good to have these young players. A young team there is in the Savile side. We've got quite a young side still, haven't we? Danny Mack, Long's not young, not old for a goalkeeper. Sorry. And then you've got Mitchell, Fleming, and what about Styles, boys? Like, I thought he looked great.
Do you know what?
And he dropped out.
You see, the thing with Styles is, I thought about earlier when we was talking about that front three. In all fairness, I agree with Kenny about. I know I'm going back saying about playing Malone higher up. I said that so many. I'm not just saying it, but I said that so many times last season, and said to give him a go this season. But I was also thinking Styles could be another one that could play there because I'll never forget his debut for us. He was brilliant, and he started at left back, and he took players on for fun, and he was beating players in that position, getting right down the byline. And I thought, hold on, maybe give Styles could fit there in that left wing position as part of the front three.
I think Styles was brought in as a left wing back to play in that 5 at the back. And obviously
seems to be
now,
out of it since, isn't he?
Yeah, now we've changed. He's tried incorporating him by putting him into the midfield, but that doesn't work. The same with Shackleton. He probably brought Shackleton in to play as a right wing back, and now we've gone to a back 4. Shackleton isn't good enough in the midfield. Styles isn't good enough in the midfield, and that's why they don't play.
I think that's a good shout, Joe. Styles on the left because he, from day one, he gets the ball and he's looking to get the opposition, and you can't rely long term on Mason Bennett. I think he tracked back more than Bury. I think that's a really good shout to play Styles there. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd give that a go.
You with us,
He looks
Pete?
like he's falling asleep.
Yeah.
I don't know if he froze there or...
I didn't hear you. Did you say, what do I think about that? Styles?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I ain't seen enough of him, Dan.
Yeah,
I don't think he's played many home games, has he? Or he might have come on a sub and things like that. But I didn't even see him on his debut or anything like that. So the jury's out on him for me because I ain't seen enough of him, personally. Yeah. You know,
I think Joe's cracked it there. I think Chris Brown's agreeing, says Styles ahead of Bury all day long. I like that. Styles right, Honeyman left, Bradshaw middle, maybe. But they definitely both got legs, haven't they?
Yeah. We just need that, you know, we could go back to Jed, don't we? Someone that can cut in, that would be that bit explosive and, you know, run with the ball and make chances for our strikers and things like that. Whether Styles,
I think Bury does that, but off the bench.
20 minutes, last 20 minutes he does it. Yeah? Last 20 minutes he does it.
The thing with Bury, he looks good when he comes on as a sub because when he's up against that left back, at that time, that left back's probably fucked. So Bury's come on fresh legs. That's why he looks better then.
The
table's looking, although people will be listening on audio next day.
Go even further down, Dan. Go even further down that table and you see the people in contention for the playoffs. Right? I think he's down to I think it's about 18th, I think it is. That anyone's like 5 points off the playoffs.
Yeah, for those listening on tomorrow or the next day on Acast, Spotify, Apple, we've currently got the league table up on the thing. I was looking, we're only 5 points off winning the league, aren't we?
That's a big, isn't it?
5 points off Fermi, sitting in 11th place.
Dan, do you know what's interesting about that? Right, about that table. Look at that table, right, and look at the teams we've played away: Burnley, Sheffield United, Norwich, Blackburn, Swansea. We've played all the top teams up there.
And we've lost the QPR and Reading at home as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we'll probably beat them away now, though.
No, I'm saying we played them. We've played all the top 6 already, haven't we? We played 7 of the top 8.
Yeah.
So it is looking favourable.
Away from home now are all like, sort of near up below us, but Sunderland and Watford, isn't it? Luton, Reading, yeah. But looking at that though, the away games we've played, it looks good reading, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah, Christian Bastinelli, mate. Thank you once again for your ongoing contributions to the channel. There's going to be 2 games, boys, but at least before we do this again next. And of course, we start on Wednesday night against Watford. I watched them first game of the season, right, against Sheffield United. And they look really good. They look really, really good. And then I saw them away at West Brom and that Sarr scored like that wonder goal when they missed the penalty. But then they had that Rob Edwards in charge. He's got a stack. I see that. I don't know what happened the other week, but I see their fans fighting amongst themselves in the stands. And they had then appointed Slaven Bilic. I know people were saying, "Oh, look, we got all these teams below us now," but I don't think you can write off West Brom or Watford. Let's start with Watford, boys. What we think is going to happen Wednesday? Who's going? I don't think Kenny is.
Who, me?
Who's going Wednesday?
I'm going Wednesday. We're all going Wednesday.
It's going to be a tough one, I think. It ain't going to... Watford's always going to be a tough team whenever they're down in this division, isn't they? You always expect them to be up there near the top. It's still early days. I do expect them to be pushing up towards top 2 as the season goes on. But I think this could be a very pivotal game because if we can take into this game what we've sort of done last couple of games, I'm positive we can scrape a win there, and that will really do wonders for the confidence of the team. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 again.
I think that speak to my mate earlier, and he said if we sit back and let them dictate, we'll fucking lose. We've got to try and go for the juggler. You're nodding, Ken.
Yeah.
Do you know what? This is the massive show of confidence from Rowett for me. If he sticks with what he's been doing over the last 3 games, we go for it. I think we've got a good chance of getting something out of the game. And if we don't, we can all turn around and go, well, do you know what? We went for it at the back. We went for it. We weren't good enough. We weren't the better team on the night. I've got a serious feeling that he's going to go 5 at the back.
Really?
And I don't think he trusts his players.
You said this before. You say that he gets to a point and he looks like it's not going right for him, and he changes something to get results, and then he changes back. You're saying he's going to do that on Wednesday? Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't say that he would do that so quickly, if that makes sense. I know that we're doing well at the moment, but I do feel like he's slowly, without us idiots noticing, he does slowly revert back to what he's always done. But I just think against Watford at home, he is going to think that Watford are a far better team than us, and he's going to go defensive. Because if you honestly look at it, when was the best time to play? Who were the best 3 teams to play with 4 at the back? Throughout the whole of the table, you'd probably say a managerless Rotherham, a managerless Middlesbrough, and a really inconsistent Bristol City. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for 4 at the back. But now we're playing a proper outfit.
Yeah, see, I know they're one place above us. They're in exactly the same points as us. Yeah. Above us on goal difference. You would expect them to be a lot higher. Of course, they've got the parachute money. Joe Turner is saying they're pacey. Watford are a very pacey team. I think as much as we've all gone and we've got them 7 points in 3 games, which has been brilliant, I think everyone going. Charlie said he agrees with Kenny. It's time for Rowett to show his bollocks. It's a really good point, that Ken. I didn't think of it. Didn't think of that at all that he might go 5 at the back. But I think, honestly, I think personally, right, if we get through these 2 games, and people might go, I would take 2 points against these 2 teams. I think that would be, won't be a bad turnout. They're 2 good sides. If we get 4 points, I think we're flying off that. Pete, what do you think? What are you expecting us to get out of these 2 games? What do you think is acceptable for the next 2 games?
Personally, if we're to go forward, we've got to get, I'll say, at least 4 points out of them 2 games. If we're to move forward as a team, confidence-wise and things like that. 1-1, 2 draws. I don't know. It's against 2 top teams. All right, fair dues. But I think if we got any intentions of trying to make the top 6, we've got to get at least 3 points out of one of them games. I'd take 1 win and 1 loss. 3 points.
I would as well.
I just don't want our unbeaten run to end. That's all it is.
Listen, do you remember the other season we kept drawing? I said I'd rather win, lose. Yeah?
Well, funny you say that. Look at the table. Oh, hang on, that's the fixtures. We're going to take a minute. Look at the table. Look at Blackburn. Blackburn are 5th. They've lost 8. They've won 7. Fuck me, I'll get it right in a minute. They played 15. They've won 8. They've lost 7.
Yeah.
They've not drawn any games.
Yeah.
There you go. That says exactly it there.
Exactly it. So I'd say maybe, I'd like to beat West Brom, to be honest with you, because I don't like their fans, right? So I would take a loss against Watford for a win over West Brom. How about 3 points out of 2 rather than 2 draws?
All right.
So you're about the unbeaten win. But I do believe we are capable on our day of beating any one of them teams, right? Any one. I know they're on a little bit on an upward curve now, but I think we're capable of. Listen, if we beat West Brom or we beat Watford, it's not going to be a massive shock, is it?
No, I don't think it is, but I think that these 2 teams are going to be better than people realise.
Yeah, they're like the Fulhams and the Brentford of the league, last.
I'm not saying I won't be over the moon with 2 points.
Okay.
I won't be over the moon, but I just think that draw against these 2 sides. I think 2 sides that'll be there or thereabouts is. Dan,
I don't think Watford and West Brom are anything like Fulham and Bournemouth were last year.
No. And they ain't as good as they've previously been when they've been in this league.
No, they're not that good. They're not that good. No. So they've dropped down a level, both of them, as in not just the league, but as in their performances. So I think they're there for the taking.
Table doesn't lie. They're where they are for a reason. So.
Oh, West Brom have been shocking, and he's now gone now, hasn't he? What's his name? Fucking Bruce. And they still haven't appointed anyone. We haven't even discussed. We haven't discussed about the talk about Rowe, have we? About Willie won't he? Apparently, I've heard they're in advanced talks with. I only saw it on social media. They're in advanced talks with the Plymouth manager Stephen Schumacher. But do you think imagine we played West Brom and then Rowett left the next day or something? I don't know. I'm just thinking they ain't appointed anyone yet. Why are they not appointing anyone? I know they probably want to get the right man, and they said I think they don't want Rowett, but would you still be surprised if he left? I don't think it's going to happen, but
I will be now.
Yeah, we'll be. Yeah, we'll be major left. Would we be disappointed if he went to West Brom?
Hell no.
I would. Personally.
Yeah, I would as well.
Well, I think regardless of his football, and sometimes we don't appreciate watching it, you can't argue with the stats of his managerial time at Millwall. You can't argue with that. And I think it is a little bit of sometimes be careful what you wish for, because it ain't always over interesting. We're not going to go down. I don't think. I hope.
Yeah, well, maybe. Listen, I have a different philosophy on that. I don't really care what league we're in. I'll go to watch. I'll go to watch my football team, be entertained, show aggression, good attitude, grit, determination, and get value for my money.
Yeah, and, we've had that in the last 3 games. The last 2 games, especially. Like Pete said, back before we wouldn't have dug in and beat Bristol City. I think we've dominated all 3 of our last 3 games and improved slowly in every game.
I agree.
I don't think we're unbelievable to watch, but look, we ain't Man City. We ain't. My mate said to me, it's an unbelievable performance Saturday, and I said, well, no, it wasn't an unbelievable performance. It's a 6-minute Mo Salah hat trick and a 7-1 thrashing. Sorry to bring it up, boys. Do you know what I mean? That's a fucking unbelievable. At the level we're at, with the players we got and the money we pay, Saturday I thought was good. You know, I still think we could improve.
Man, we could have easily had 4 goals Saturday. Easy. We had the one cleared off the line, didn't we? We had Figgy missing Hutchinson off the line. We had 2 from Bradshaw, and someone else had a shot, and we had the penalty. We could have easily walked away from it, winning 5-1.
So we are creating more chances all of a sudden.
Sorry?
We are creating more chances.
Yeah, we could have won 5-1 this Saturday.
Fair enough. We were saying about what the this team's a shit and that team's a shit and the league isn't as strong. So start with you, Ken, right?
Yeah.
Of all those teams in the division, name the ones that you think are actually better than us.
What, with the team that we got?
Yeah. Or how many?
Odds 3 possibly.
You think there's only 3 teams that are better than our team, yeah?
Better than the squad we've got, yeah.
I'd say
Burnley,
that.
Norwich City.
3. I'd say 3.
Yeah, but,
Sheffield United, the top 3.
yeah, maybe. I'll go with Watford as well. Though I think Watford haven't woken up yet.
Yeah, true.
So I'll Sheffield United. Sheffield United hasn't been much different for like the last 5 years, has it? Their squad. I swear Fleck's still running about for them. And
Yeah, you're right. They took the same team up with them all the way, pretty much, didn't they?
yeah,
They never really made like massive signings, other than that striker, obviously Brewster. He ain't really done it for him, has he?
nah. And we've turned Sheffield United over plenty of times. Over the last 5 years or whatever it was. So I'd say, yeah, Burnley have got an outstanding team. They're obviously going to go straight back up. Norwich City, and I think Watford, like I say, hasn't woken up yet, but I think they're starting to right at the wrong time for us anyway.
Pete, Joe, what do you think? How many teams do you think are actually better than our team there?
I'd say 1, 2, 3. I'd say 5. Yeah. I'm looking at Burnley, Sheffield United, Norwich, Watford, and then one that's out of the picture, West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, of course, not everyone's fucking in there, right? I didn't think that.
So I'm looking at them 5, and so like we've always said before in the past, if them teams find their form, we're possibly looking at that last place. As for the others, I think you can take them all day long. Yeah.
What do you think, Joe?
I'd say I'd throw the top 3 in there: Norwich, Sheffield United, and who was it? Burnley. I think when we played Sheffield United earlier on in the season, there were spells where I thought you could see they're going to be up there end of the season. I'd probably chuck in Watford as well, a 4th one. And yeah, you say about West Brom, but I don't believe in all that. Like, just because they've got big name players or whatever, I think they're where they are for a reason at the minute, and wouldn't surprise me if
they've been on silly loads.
It's not picking with them at the minute, and they weren't great last season either, so I wouldn't say they're better than us. So I say maybe 3-4 teams.
Yeah, all right. So Kenny's saying you're all pretty much saying the same number, and Kenny's not with the manager because obviously in his eyes we should be higher up then by that reckoning.
Yeah, 100%.
I know it's only early. We'll be 14 games in. Pete, but then at the same time, Pete and Joe are saying that players need time to gel. We are slowly improving, so I can see where we're aiming with that. I'm honestly not sure on that. When I've asked you boys a question, I'm not sure of my answer.
Do you know what? Do you know why we've played better? Is because of the formation change, right? That's point blank why we've played better. All right, the oppositions weren't that great, but you can only beat what's in front of you. We've now got an extra man in the midfield, right? We've now got from that midfield, we've now got an extra man that pushes forward. So naturally, because we've got the players to do it, we've found the last 3 games we're pressing harder, and teams are dropping back on us, which is what we've done for the last 10 games or whatever it was. But now they're having to sit back against us, and we're pushing forward because we have better players. That's my argument, but we should have been doing this a season and a half ago, But now because Rowett's done it, now all the fucking Rowett in blokes are fucking coming in, giving us grief again because we've got some fucking results.
The Rowett effect.
To back your argument, Ken, you said he should have been doing this a year and a half ago.
2 years, maybe.
Well, to back your argument, the team isn't that much different, is it? Because, as we said, 6 of the 8 new signings didn't start on Saturday.
Exactly.
So only really Long, who is, even Bart, we've had that discussion. McNamara, Hutchinson, Cooper, Murray Wallace, yeah. Saville, Mitchell, yeah. It's only Fleming, really. There's different. Bradshaw up front.
Yeah, look, Rowett will go before his 3 years is up, right? And we'll
He's
still
3
have
years,
roughly.
isn't it?
Yeah, no, like his new free or his new contract, whatever it is, right? So now, and we'll get another manager in. We'll have the same players that we've got now, and you will see a completely different team, and you'll see completely different performances. And you can all put your hands up, all in the comments, and go, "I made a mistake with that one," right?
Oh, man.
And Kenny, you was right.
I just heard Connor laugh.
I don't know.
I always know when Kieran O'Connor's made a comment because I see Pete do this. It's usually when I'm talking as well.
Oh, brilliant. Right, let's talk about West Brom as we was on the subject a minute ago. A certain Jeb Wallace comes back to town. Did anyone see that? Oh, you see the tweet I put on the group?
No.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Someone said, like, Jeb Wallace has got to be expecting shit. And someone said something like, some geezer went, yeah, I'm going to give fuck him. I'm going to give him dog's abuse for 90 minutes. Surely he wouldn't expect anything else. Ask him and tag Jeb Wallace. And Jeb Wallace went, yeah, to be fair, so I'm expecting him. Maybe a little clap at the end if you want.
Yeah.
Fair play to him. Listen, I'll give him shit for 90 minutes, but I will give him a round of applause at the end for his service to the club. I think it's only fair.
Oh, yeah.
But it's only right to give him shit for 90 minutes. And
Exactly.
obviously, and he has realised not to expect anything else. How do you think it'll go with him Saturday, Joe?
I think he's got to expect that.
Yeah.
I think it would be small spurts, actually. I think the majority of the people, it'll get a good reception. But it would be good to get on his back a little bit. I probably will. It's all part and parcel of it, isn't it? But I honestly think the majority will give him a good reception. I don't think he'll get that much stick, in all honesty.
As you think, Pete?
I think we all knew he was going to leave, and we all knew he weren't going to Premiership, didn't we? He's never a Premiership player, so we always knew he was going to go sort of high-end Championship, like a Norwich or a West Brom or a Burnley, like that. So, listen, he give us good service. He give us brilliant service. He was, what, 6 years at us, was he?
5, 6 years, something like that.
5, 6 years. Been a brilliant servant to the club. And, you know, it's coming to, you know, the end of his couple of contracts he's going to get. And I don't blame him for moving on. And I won't be booing him, that's for sure.
Honestly, I feel half gutted for him that he's gone to West Brom. I did say that at the time. All right, fair enough, move on. But fucking at least take your chance, go and sit on Forest bench or something. Do you know what I mean? He's ended up worse off.
Yeah, it's not like he's taken a major
but...
step up.
Well, he has probably wages-wise, hasn't he, remember?
Oh, yeah.
It ain't really about... like it's more about money, isn't it, as well? Like, I don't know about a challenge. West Brom ain't much of a challenge, is it? So, I don't know.
I think he meant challenge to fucking get all the money in his pocket, is what he meant.
I don't know whether he doubled his wages or not. You know, I don't know what Mill offered him. What would Mill have offered him? What would we have offered him? What, 15 grand a week?
He wanted nearer 20 and we wouldn't get there. This is what I've heard from someone's fucking auntie's parrot.
And he's probably
and eventually when we did offer it to him, he said it's too late. He said, I've done the deal with West Brom for fucking double.
Yeah,
that's what someone told me. You don't know. Charlie said he sponsored him for 3 years. He's a top bloke and was a major part of getting where he is now. Charlie, I've never seen him so emotional. It's going to be hard for you. I'm taking a pair of binoculars on Saturday to look across at Charlie. Because you usually got foam coming out your mouth and everyone, you hate everyone. You're like Kenny, you hate everyone on our team, everyone on the other team as well, and the manager. Charlie's going to be booing but crying at the same time. Look, we got to give it to him just for the sake of trying to get in under their skin and get a result.
Yeah.
100%.
If the unthinkable happens, 90th minute, free kick, Jeb sticks one of the stanch, do you reckon he's celebrating?
No way.
Nah.
No way is he celebrating.
Also, you got Swift to be taking a free kick, so we're all right.
Yeah.
I've noticed for them. I've been on telly a lot. Let Carl and Grant can't hit a fucking barn door, and I've been saying it. You know he's going to fucking turn up and score now.
Yeah,
it's always the way against us, isn't it? It'll be like you always hear, so and so ain't scored in 10 games. Oh, upset Millwall, bang, there you go. Have that.
You wait till we play
Always.
Bolton in the FA Cup and Bob Varson sticks
No.
an hat-trick past us.
Electric.
It will seem weird, wouldn't it? It will seem. I'm
No.
trying to think from recent years. I'm trying to think of returning players that have been big players for us and got, an half decent reception.
Tim Cahill.
Okay.
Did he ever come back though with Everton?
He did,
Yeah, in
yeah.
the FA Cup
Yeah,
season
in
after.
the FA Cup.
Literally the season after.
Yeah.
0-0.
Anyone else in more recent years?
Um,
I can't think of any.
I'm sure there has been.
Well, you can only look at Steve Morrison.
Savile when he was at Middlesbrough.
Most of the
the
players we sell ended up in League One and League Two, so they never get.
But I mean, players that have come back as a player for another team that's been a really big player for us.
Savile when he went to when he was last at Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he weren't no Jed Wallace, was he?
No.
I think
He was good.
I think half the people that will boo Jed Wallace on Saturday will be the people that don't appreciate what he's done for our football club.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
I
Sean
think
Williams, Lee Gregory, of course, came back with Stoke, didn't he?
Sean
Yeah.
Williams,
Yeah.
As much as I love both of those players, this is bigger, isn't it? I don't know, and it's giving me a little bit of, I don't know, like a good feeling, but a bit of anxiety. Like,
Did Teddy Sheringham ever come back to our club?
no, I remember us playing West Ham
I
away in
think
the,
he did.
in the cup, and he got dogs
Did
abuse.
or not? In a friendly? No, I don't know. I don't think
Woods, someone said Woods.
Morrison, how about that one?
Who, the Ginger Ninja?
Yeah, Charlie Richards.
No, Morrison when he played for Leeds.
He played the Leeds against us.
I can't remember
Yeah.
that one.
Possible.
Someone's put Abdul Karim. I don't even know. He's a fucking basketball player, wasn't he, in the 80s? Yeah, Lee Gregory's probably the nearest thing I can think of. Sean Williams got a really good reception. But as good as they both were, I think Jed is like...
Oh, yeah, Romeo.
Jed was the Romeo. But I'm thinking, but I mean not players that were out and out.
Yeah.
You'll look back and go, they were one of the best players. You've got to probably say, would you say Jed's one of the best players we've ever had, or most well-known players we've ever had?
Yeah, got to give it
most
to him.
effective. Most effective. I think that Jed has been a steady positive pretty much throughout all his time at Millwall. We always expected that if there was to be a moment of magic, it would be Jed. He was our go-to guy in every situation. And
You knew what you were getting.
Yeah, he scored a lot of important goals, to be honest. So yeah, listen. Obviously, I don't want to see him do it against us, but I have no problems with Jed, and I hate everyone.
Oh, we did a thing last time on a podcast, and I hate everyone. We did a thing on a podcast last time out, and I meant to get the stats up, and I haven't got it out. But remember, we looked at the fixtures, and we all said, how many points are we going to get from those?
Oh, biscuit, was it?
Yeah.
Can anyone
That
remember
was
how many they
unfair,
got?
Dan.
Huh?
That was unfair because then he changed to 4 at the back, and he's fucked us up. He's done it on purpose.
All right. Do you want to play again then?
No, not really.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15.
So our next five fixtures are. Sorry, I'm going to come off that. You know, you just went 3, 6, 9, 12. So I just saw. I'm going to tell you because I told someone. I said it's really, not that funny, but it's really tickled me. And he said Gary Rowett reveals. It was news at then. He said Gary Rowett reveals the process he goes through to select his starting 11. And somebody, it was on Twitter, and someone put in the comments, I know the answer. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato, Bradshaw. And it really, really made me laugh. Oh, sorry about that. It's nothing to do with anything. But yeah, there you go. So the next 5 games, Watford at home, West Brom at home, Huddersfield away, Birmingham away, and Hull City at home. So 3 home games and 2 away. Not maybe we have a bit of joy up there usually at Birmingham, don't we? Or get some sort of result. Huddersfield last year scarred me for life. I'm never going to go there again. I'm actually out of action anyway. My operation is 2 days after the Huddersfield game, and I'm going to be out of action till Christmas. So, yeah, maybe I'll go Huddersfield. I don't know. What are you thinking, boys? Pete, how many points do you think from them next 5 games?
Right. One loss. One, draw, 2. 9. 9 points.
I was thinking 9. Do you know why?
Go on.
Well, just on average, try and win 3 home games, but ain't gonna. Yeah, go on, Joe. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go 8. I think we'll get 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. So 8. Yeah, that's 8, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone's saying about the same. Ken, what do you think?
Right, I'll tell you what, I'm going super positive. Right, so I'm going to go for 11.
You know, you've changed.
Kenny, what have you been drinking, mate?
Hang on, you can't say you want the manager out and then say we're going to get 11 points from 15.
Yeah, but
What's in that vape? That's what I want to know.
right, I'm going on the basis that he don't change it back. Right, I'm going on that basis that he don't change it back. Right, because he's obviously starting to take advice from Lions TV because he ain't got a fucking do himself. So, but I do think that we'll lose against Watford. I think that we'll beat. Can we get that back up, Dan? Because I've got.
Yeah,
I think we'll beat West Brom.
Yeah.
I think we'll beat Huddersfield. And then what's that? 6. Is that 6? Yeah, 3, 6. I think that we'll beat Hull as well. But where have I gone wrong here?
No, you don't. That's 9 points.
So you've missed the Birmingham game. That's 9 points.
Right, so lose.
You're
3.
saying lose to Watford, beat West Brom, that's 3, beat Huddersfield, that's 6, beat Hull, that's 9. You can't get 11 unless you get 2 points for the Birmingham game.
Yes, sorry. So I'm going 10. Sorry. So I think we'll draw again. I think we'll lose against Watford. We'll beat West Brom. We'll beat Huddersfield. We'll get a draw at Birmingham, and we'll beat Hull.
Yeah, I'm saying we're going to beat Hull, draw at Birmingham, draw Huddersfield. I'm not sure about the other 2, to be honest. I'll have to save that for tomorrow's pre-match prediction, and I nicely plugged. But yeah, the preview will be out tomorrow. You boys are going to send in some score predictions, yeah?
Of course.
Yeah.
We'll get both of them out at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Any other business to attend? Anyone want anything to say?
No, I just hope that the crowd turn up on Wednesday night, as in vocal wise, and Saturday.
You know that's not going to happen.
They've been quite.
They'll be there Saturday, but I think Wednesday's. Is it? Sorry, I've missed this out. Are we main game on Sky on Wednesday?
Yeah, we are.
And also, I want to touch on the crowd that we had the last home game, 15,000. All them Americans that come over, wasn't it?
There weren't just Americans. There was people from everywhere, wasn't there? There were Dutch. There were groups of Germans. There was, I don't know.
That was just that was just our players. Fucking hell! I made a joke, no one laughed, and I shit myself.
I heard it. I thought,
oh, fucking hell! Jesus, I was like,
well, Amara's going to have a chat with you about this. We'll do it next week, though.
I was like, hanging on there. Oh, fucking hell. Someone don't dig me out the hole and get a Joe to save me. Thanks, Joe. You're a star pupil. But yeah, apparently, my mate said, why was there so many people? He said, I couldn't get. And I said, well, in front of me where I sit, there was all that, like fucking, not hillbillies, what are they called? Fucking rednecks.
Vikings.
Like truckers with big beards and that. And they were going, oh man, I'm taking photos. It's because the NFL was on apparently the next day.
The Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers.
What was that little impression you said?
Get in the hole, man. Oh, but
when we scored, didn't you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think. I think the crowd will be down Wednesday night. I think the crowd will be quite down.
The geezer said to me, "Where did he hit that from? The 50-yard line?"
Oh dear.
Yeah, so I think the crowd. I think, like I say, against the Middlesbrough game and the Blackpool game, I think the crowd were very muted because I think, truthfully, everyone wanted us to. A lot of people wanted to lose them games for Rowett to go, I think, and that's not good. For me, that's good. You've got to back the team, come what may. And I just think, like I say, the goals were muted, the celebration. So, where other times when we score, we always go a bit crazy and things like that. I know we did it Bristol City away with the boys there, but is we need the crowd. The crowd needs to be with the players now. We need to be at one if we're going to push forward. If we're going to push forward, and that's what we need.
I think Saturday could be a great atmosphere, but I'm worried that the numbers won't be there.
If we win Wednesday night, I mean, it'll put another couple of thousand on the gate for Saturday.
I'm expecting Saturday to be near on a sellout anyway, if I'm honest.
No, when you get in the pubs, you know, don't you? Really, when the crowd's going to be like good or bad, because when you get in the pub and it's packed, you know it's going to be a big crowd day. If it's half empty, you're not expecting a big crowd, isn't it? You know, but no. Other than that, I just want the crowd to back the boys Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah, let's fucking hope so. I'm just sorting out the old tripod.
You knock your eye out.
Yeah, it was looking at me all funny, so I thought I'd pack it away. All right, boys. That's it then.
Okay, mate.
We're on to Wednesday and then Saturday. 2 big home games. I'd be happy. Yeah, I would be happy with 1 win and 1 loss, I suppose. But I'd just rather not lose either game. I'd rather not. Look, I'd rather draw both and sacrifice a point and keep the unbeaten run going. As long as they're not boring.
I get that in a way, yeah.
As long as they're not boring 0-0s, I'd rather do that. Do you know what I mean?
I think we'll set up to not lose on Wednesday. I think that's what we'll do. We'll set up not to lose, and then I'm hoping that he might, you know, say we get a 1-1 draw, it's a 0-0 draw, and he has gone 5 at the back. I just hope to God that he don't use that as an excuse then when we come to West Brom on the Saturday to then do it again. You know what I mean? So you've played 5 at the back because Watford are a dangerous side. But now we're at home on a Saturday, full house. We go back to 4 at the back and we fucking give it to them. That's what I want.
It's a really interesting point you've brought up there because I never thought we even considered that. So thanks. I'm going to nick that in my preview and take the credit. It's wonderful. I've done that before with your stuff.
Yeah. Also, Dan, went to the when does the season stop for the World Cup?
Got Watford tomorrow, West Brom Saturday. We've got Huddersfield away the following Saturday, Birmingham away the following Tuesday, Hull at home, and then we've got, after Hull at home, I think we've got Preston away.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
And then I can't work out, we're playing Luton on a Sunday. That's the day of the World Cup final. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, mate. England won't be in that.
Oh, I don't know about that, mate.
And also, when we play Sunderland away, that is now a
Saturday the 3rd December.
12 o'clock kickoff.
Birthday weekend, Dad? Weekend trip to Newcastle?
But if England win the group, I think that kicks off about 3 hours after our game with Sunderland finishes.
God, imagine that, a little weekend in Newcastle for that.
I'll be out of action, boys. I'm getting a cut, and I 2 weeks. September. 1st of November, my operation is.
Were you having a snip?
Having a snip. I don't even have that. I don't use the fucking thing. Double hernia surgery. I won't be able to drive or walk for about a month. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, mate.
So there you go. Let's not get the violins out for me. Let's hope we get a few down at Dems Wednesday, but I can't see it, to be honest with you. I hope I'm wrong.
I think if we win Wednesday, I think that's a massive.
That
really will be a big win. That will do wonders.
It'll be announced promotion again, won't it?
If we win that game, right?
Announced promotion.
Everyone will be jumping at the bit to get in that team. Do you remember last year when we went on that unbeaten winner? All our players were injured, and we went on that long unbeaten run, didn't we?
It's always about this time, isn't it? We usually kick in about November, December, and go on a.
Yeah. And like what do we always do? Come December, when we're in touching distance, or January, the transfer window, we never do nothing. We never do nothing. And when you see last year, when other teams were up
every other team around us pushed on.
They invested that month. They all invested heavily, and it paid dividends for them, didn't it? You know what I mean? So that's what. If we're in touching distance come Christmas, we have to invest. I'll make a personal message on Lion CV to John Belton.
I thought you say you're going to get your wallet out. I was going to say, fucking hell.
You've done that before, actually.
Definitely get someone decent.
I have, yeah. Mr. Belson, please, 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 this is the time. We've been here so many times before, and we sort of let it go that last bit.
Someone just put Jeffrey Dahmer in the comments. I think I've been referring to my glasses, I think. Anyway, yeah, all right, you laugh at that. Didn't fucking laugh at my joke, though. Anyway, are we winning Wednesday? In a word, Kenny, yes or no?
No, I don't think so. I'd love to, but no.
That wasn't a word.
Sorry, that was...
All right,
no,
Kenny,
sorry,
Wednesday, win, lose or draw?
Lose.
Joe, win, lose or draw Wednesday?
Head says no, heart says yes. Win 2-1.
Pete,
No,
win,
win, lose or draw.
Win, lose.
I'm going to go yes, win.
Pete?
3-1 defeat, I reckon. 3-1 defeat.
Oh, fucking hell. I'll go for a draw and I'll absolutely take that right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. If you haven't already, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just say that again. Please subscribe to Lions TV.
Come on, you Lions.
Lions.